today, I won't be shitting all over Jojo Golden Records. I know, a huge change of pace compared to pretty much every single time I've played any of these Jojo games. I always come in here and I expect the absolute worst bottom of the barrel, and then when I don't get that, it really throws me off. I basically expect nothing to even come close to holding a candle to YBA, and so when something comes even remotely close to that, it's shocking. In comes this game. Jojo Golden Records is a game that at the time of me playing it only had like 200 concurrent players. That really doesn't bode well. When I think about low population Roblox Jojo games, I get horrible flashbacks every time to games like Project Star, Roblox is Unbreakable, and Stand Upright Rebooted. Nightmarish games that most of the time I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, at least in the states that I played them in. And for God's sakes, one of those games, Project Star, I endorsed at the time, one of the things that I will endlessly regret. And this time around, I don't think I'll regret it, mostly because I'm not 100% endorsing this game. I think that Golden Records has a mountain of problems, and some really large ones at that. But even despite that, when I played the game, I didn't want to die. And playing a game where I don't actively want to die is quite impressive when it comes to Roblox Jojo. So anyways, just like Roblox is Unbreakable, I'm gonna simply chronicle my journey that I took into this game, and then afterwards, we're gonna get more in-depth into the game itself, and I'll talk about all the feelings I have with it. I feel like those two things would both make for good videos, so I'm just gonna combine them into one. Without further ado, let's kick things off with how it went for me when I decided to play Golden Records. So loading up the game, obviously I hadn't played it before, and it spawned me next to this shop of some sort. I opened up an item bag, I pulled out some stand arrows and some discs, which are basically the Rokas of this game. I used an arrow, got Star Platinum, and figured, that's good enough, I'll just stick with that. While I was messing with the moveset for Star Platinum, I saw an interesting text bubble pop up. It told me that I could only use this move when I'm damaged. So already 1 point to Jojo Golden Records for actually telling me that I need to have low health to use the move, rather than just getting zero information whatsoever. That being said, I then have to take away a point for it not telling you any of the keybinds seemingly anywhere. If I missed them, feel free to all over me in the comments, but I couldn't find them. It did make learning the game and new things a bit annoying. The other thing that I noticed very quickly is that the game felt like ass to play. I knew at that very moment that it was over. The attacks felt like they had a 2-second delay on using them. And if I was gonna have to deal with that the whole time, I'm gonna be honest, I almost quit right there on the spot and just scrapped the whole video. There was no way that the people who recommended me this game had any clue what they were talking about with how awful this game felt to play. And then I checked my ping. Yeah, I'm gonna take the L on this one. Problem with these low population Jojo games, and low population games in general, is that trying to play them and get on active servers in your region can sometimes be easier said than done, especially when you're trying to do that at like 1 p.m. on a school day. As a surprise to nobody, there is not very many people playing this game in the US at 1 p.m. in the middle of a weekday. And because of that, it took me an eternity to find a server, which once again put me in a really foul mood, and I just kinda didn't want to be here. Whenever I play these games, it's always a nightmare, so why would this be any different? Eventually, after joining server after server after server, I finally got a server that had at least playable ping that wasn't above 150, and I said, I'm probably not gonna get better than that, I better just go ahead and call it here, play on this server. So it was at this point where I had to figure out what to do. Seriously, what the fuck do I do? I don't know what it is with Roblox Jojo games, but for whatever reason, they seemingly never have any sort of indication on what you should be doing. I guess the developers that make these games all are hardcore fans of the genre of games, and so they just assume that everyone else that's going to come in here is going to know exactly what to do. But in terms of both the new player experience and myself, who's a frequent veteran of a lot of these games, I'm just standing here and then wandering around and being totally clueless. The information I've got right now is that I obtained a stand through an item bag. There's a money indicator and a level indicator in the top, but as for my quest log, it's completely empty. And where I should be going to begin my quests, I have no idea. Are you just expected to completely wander around and hope you end up in the right spot? This is a thing that a lot of games do, and to this day, I just don't get it. I took a look through the menus, and then I found the skill tree, and I was thrown even more for a loop. Obviously, I'm level 0, so I have 0 skill points to spend. But looking through the skill tree itself was a bit of a pain, because for whatever reason, trying to cycle from one node to the other isn't as simple as just clicking on the node. Instead, you need to make sure that you click on a specific part of the node. If you don't, then it will just eat your input and you won't go there. I think it has something to do with the text in the box, but I don't know. In regards to the actual skill tree itself, most of this stuff is self-explanatory, except for one node, which doesn't make any sense. Maybe I'm just brain dead, but I don't get it. 97% stun? 94% stun? What's that supposed to mean? Does it mean you deal more stun? But no, because the number is going down. So does it make it so you take less stun? And then if you take less stun, does that mean that when you're fighting people, sometimes moves will combo and sometimes they won't? And if so, that's some really odd design. Sometimes you fight people and your moves work and sometimes they don't? I don't know, man. This whole tree of the skill tree completely lost on me. Please, by all means, go in the comments, explain the percent stun to me, because I do not understand it in the slightest. Anyways, I finished up in the skill tree, walked over to this guy. He's like a cowering civilian. Tried to punch him because I couldn't talk to him. Nothing happened. Then I found this alchemist guy and he asked me for some items and money that I don't have. And again, let me just make it clear to you guys, there's no direction here. Like, I have no idea what the point of the game is. And if I was a new player, I would be even more lost because, well, what the hell are you supposed to do? I found this floating guy and the floating guy said that he wasn't even available yet. He's just gonna be in a future update. So what is he doing there? Why is he even there in the first place? Eventually, I finally made my way over to an NPC that had a quest. All right, here we go. First fight, and what the fuck? Are you kidding me? You're attacking me while I'm beating up the starter NPCs. All right, well, bring it on, I guess. Well, it would seem with a whopping 4 HP remaining that I managed to beat the random guy who wanted to kill me for no reason. Unfortunately, as it goes in Roblox Jojo games, random people who want to kill you for no reason, they don't give up easy.
きる動きあるじゃん。
What the fuck? Did he enable hacks? Is he cheating now? What the fuck was that? What the fuck? You have gotta be kidding me. He's cheating now? He started fucking hacking. You're actually joking. Let me tell you, it has been a long time since I've gone up against someone who actively toggled hacks in the middle of our encounter because they decided that they couldn't beat me otherwise. And I won't lie, that is about the greatest compliment that you could ever give me. I'm really, honest to God, not super good at these games, and especially not this one. It was my first day playing, and I managed to get this trash can to toggle cheats. A lot of people ask me, Eclipse, why don't you play on your main account when you go to play these new games, or just generally play on your main account at all? And here's a great example as to why. Do you really think this moron would have talked as much shit as he did and toggled cheats on me if he knew it was Eclipse, the Roblox Jojo guy? Probably not. So you can thank my anonymity for this gem. Anyways, in case anyone from Golden Records is watching this video, here's his profile. Ban this fucking asshole. Thanks in advance. Getting back on track with actually playing the game and making progress, I killed the final thug that I thought I needed for the quest, went back to the quest giver, and he asked to give me the quest again? Well, that can't be right. I didn't gain any experience, right? Okay, well, I mean, I guess it's a bug. I'll do it again. Oh, God. No, please, God, no, tell me this isn't happening. So, the level 0 quest giver who tasks you with killing 5 thugs, the only quest that I can find, gives you what might be the most pitiful quest reward I've seen in any game. I'm at level 0. It literally could not get easier to level up. This is the least amount of experience it will ever take, and killing 5 thugs brings it up by a fucking millimeter. So obviously I'm not gonna go do that quest again. I don't care if I'm level 0. I gotta find another thing to do. There's no way I'm even gonna make it to level 1 doing this. I'll be here all day. Well, okay, there's some of these guys out in the desert. Maybe I can fight one of them. All right, almost got him, and... Okay, what the fuck? Why the hell do the random people in the desert grant you like double or triple the amount of XP that killing 5 thugs for a quest does? Not only are these guys not part of the quest, and not only do they give you more XP than it would to do the quest, but they're also infinitely more fun to fight since they don't just mindlessly charge at you and they have stands, but also they drop chests that have items that you need in them when they die. So let me ask you this, why the flying fuck is the Thugs quest even in the game? What is the purpose of it? Is it for people who are somehow too bad to fight these guys? Because I promise you, they're not that hard. You could spend 50 hours doing the quest that you'd think you'd have to do to level up to get to level 2, or you can kill like 3 or 4 of these guys. Who designed this? Did anybody think this through? I'm at a complete loss. And then, as if my confusion couldn't get higher, this happened. What the fuck? Holy shit! Oh my god, I'm on fire. What the fuck was that? How do I put myself out? Okay. No, Not. Please, please stop burning to death. Good God. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Welcome to the end of the video. Did that feel anticlimactic? I hope so, because it was on purpose. The reason I'm making the transition into the conclusion of the video anticlimactic is because that's how I felt when playing this game. Once I got to this point in the game, I suddenly realized that all there really is left to do is grind for levels in order to make it so that I'm slightly stronger, and grind for arrows or discs to try to get a different stand that I want. That, or go on Google and figure out how to get one of the evolution stands. But the point was, I'd been playing for about an hour and 20 minutes, and I felt like I was pretty much already done. I didn't think there was a whole lot left to see. Maybe I'm dead wrong about that, but it seemed that way. I think the interesting thing about Golden Records for me is I can almost guarantee you that the only reason that I enjoyed this game as much as I did was because of that random jackass at the start. If I hadn't gotten attacked right off the bat and had to actually fight another human player and then have them cheat to try to beat me, I probably would have been bored out of my mind playing this. But I'm really glad that that happened because it was a good showcasing to me that the combat in this game genuinely feels good. And I've said on many occasions that the feel of combat is the most important thing in any of these games because it's what you'll be doing most. And if the combat doesn't feel good, then the rest of your game basically doesn't matter. What's weird is that for Golden Records, it's almost like we've got the opposite effect of every other game I've played. Most of these other games put a lot of time and effort into all these different systems, but then don't put enough time into their combat, and so the game just sucks in comparison. It doesn't matter what you have in there if the combat sucks. But here, it's more like the combat, while not phenomenal, is pretty solid. But the rest of the game, well, where is it? This is running off assumptions here, so I might be dead wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, the only things left I can do in Golden Records is hunt down some of the evolution stands via some quests, and level up my character so that I'm slightly stronger. There's no cool ultimate unlocks to look forward to in the skill tree. There's no specializations that can vary up the builds to make the gameplay more interesting. It's just take your stand, go beat up some AI or some players, and that's about that. Which for what it is, I suppose is fine, but it also makes a lot of sense to me why this game doesn't have that many players. Golden Records does have a good amount of stands in the game, so it's not like it's completely lacking in variety or anything like that. And you know what the weird part about this problem is? The weird part is that I really don't know what to say here. This is normally the part where I would be like, and here's my solution to that problem. But I just don't know. I can mention some stuff that came up as I played, but as for just like a concrete solution to the problem of what do I do now? Yeah, I just don't know. I'm at a loss. Anyways, some off things about the game. Pretty obvious things. The beatdown animations oftentimes get desynced with the server or the client, I can't tell which causes the damage and stuff to be really whack. I don't really know how to explain it, but all you need to do is see it once and you'll know what I mean. That happened with every beatdown I saw, which is a little bit of a problem. And also Cream's ultimate move, where it goes in a circle, well, at least it's called Void Ultimate or whatever, it's a complete disaster. It totally destroys the game and shakes my computer to pieces. I don't know what causes that, but it was really funny the first time it happened. The other thing I picked up on about Golden Records is that it seems like this is the most anti-social game of all time. And by that I mean there is very little reason to play with other people, and if anything, there is a direct hindrance when working with other players. When you open the chests after killing a boss or killing an NPC, the items appear to be entirely based on the server and they're not client-side, which basically means that everyone can see the same items and pick up the same items. That's of course gonna be a problem when two players fight a boss together or fight an NPC together, and then one player takes the item that the other player wants. Then you're just causing unnecessary conflict. And sure, sometimes unnecessary conflict can be fun in these games, but it's more so an exercise in frustration when you just want to get items and some random guy shows up and just yoinks the arrow that you just took 3 minutes to kill the NPC for. I just don't quite understand the thought process behind not making this per player and making it server-wide. Being able to play with your friends easily is something that I think can be pretty important in these games, and in here, like I said, it feels like you're just gonna get hurt if you play with other people. On a sort of final note, why the fuck does my RNG have to be so bad in every single game I play? All I wanted to do was get the world. It's my favorite stand, of course I wanted to get it, and I went through so many fucking arrows that I was starting to wonder if it was even locked behind arrows in the first place, or if I had to do something special. If you look at my stand index before I unlocked it, I'm pretty sure that I rolled every single stand that I could have aside from evolutions before I got the world. And you know what? I got the world. I was all excited because before that, all these stands had these cool animations and these cool beatdowns, and the music and the voice lines brought a big smile to my face every time, and I was like, boy oh boy, I can't wait for Road Roller. It's exciting in every game, no matter what game it is. And it doesn't have one. Golden Records, what the fuck?